It's Thursday night football between the Cardinals and Seahawks, and with that, a chance to win $25,000. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Jason Mattis with Winning Bets. Thanks for hanging out with me on this episode. This one's one of our free contests on the Fox Bet Super 6 app, and with that, a chance to win $25,000 on the Cardinals and the Seahawks games. All you gotta do is correctly answer 6 questions to take home the $25,000. If everybody can't do that, then they'll give away a guaranteed $5,000 for the group of people that can get the most right. Before we get into the 6 questions, let me go ahead and just get you guys some general numbers about these two teams going into this game. For the Cardinals side, in terms of offensively speaking, we've got the number 1 offense going up against the number 32 ranked defense of the Seahawks. You got the number 1 rushing attack in the NFL going up against the number 4 rushing defense. And you've got the number 13 passing offense going up against the league's worst passing defense, checking in at 32. Let's look at it from the Seahawks offensive perspective. You got the Seahawks number 3 offense going up against the Cardinals number 18 defense. The Seahawks number 13 rushing offense going up against the Cardinals number 15 rushing defense. And you've got the Seahawks number 3 passing offense going up against the Cardinals number 20 passing defense. We know the Seahawks are coming into this game losers of their last 2. They've lost to the Bills and the Rams. Everybody would agree that those are 2 good football teams. Meanwhile, the Cardinals are coming off the dramatic win and the waning seconds of a Hail Mary against the Buffalo Bills. This is the second matchup this season against the two teams, where the first one was an absolute thriller. It was a 37-34 win in overtime by the Cardinals. Just a really fantastic game, and just kind of a little curious to see how overtime went, to see, did the Cardinals win on their first possession or anything. They sure did. The overtime went Seahawks punt, Cardinals missed field goal, Seahawks interception, Cardinals game-winning field goal for the win is how the overtime unfolded. That was just a really fascinating game. Hopefully we get something like that. But even if we don't, we'll still have a chance to win $25,000 on this game. Let's go ahead and break down the 6 questions involved in this game. All right, so question 1 is, what's going to be the last scoring play of the first half? Well, the Cardinals have 32 touchdowns on the season versus 15 field goals. They have no defensive or special team touchdowns on the season. And the Seahawks have 37 touchdowns and they've got 10 field goals, and themselves also have no defensive touchdowns or no special teams touchdowns. And then the first game, there were 8 touchdowns and 5 field goals, and the first half did end with a field goal. I'm going to go ahead and say field goal as well in this game for the last scoring play, and I'm going to go ahead and give it to the Cardinals. The Cardinals will have a field goal to end the first half. Question 2 is, how will the first TD of the third quarter be scored? Well, for the Seahawks defense, let's look at them. They've allowed 15 passing touchdowns, which is tied for 13th, and they've given up 14 rushing touchdowns, which is tied for 28th, one of the worst in the league. The Cardinals defense, they've given up 17 passing touchdowns, that's tied for 19th, and they've only given up 5 rushing touchdowns, that's tied for first in the National Football League. Let's look at it from an offensive perspective. The Seahawks offense, they've gotten 28 passing touchdowns and 9 rushing touchdowns. And for the Cardinals offense, they've gotten 17 passing touchdowns, which is 12th, and 15 rushing touchdowns, which is first. I'm going to go ahead and answer this one. Cardinals rushing touchdown will be the first touchdown of the third quarter. And look, the reason I'm going Cardinals touchdown or rushing touchdown is you've got the number 1 rushing attack coming into the NFL against one of the worst rushing defenses, checking in at number 28. So I just like that big discrepancy of really one good versus one bad, where on the passing, there's not as great of a discrepancy, but you definitely have that here with this Cardinals rushing attack against the Seahawks rushing defense. All right, question 3 is, what's going to be the total passing yards for Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson in the entire game? Murray is averaging 331 yards per game. Russell Wilson is averaging 346 per game. The Cardinals defense is averaging 249 per game. The Seahawks defense is averaging 353 per game. In the first game, there was a total 748 yards. To me, I'm going to go ahead and answer this one 491 plus. It doesn't matter if you go on the quarterback's averages or if you go on what the defenses are averaging. It gets you well up above 491. And again, 748 in that first game. There's a lot of regression that can come back down, and you can still be well above 491. So that's why I'll go ahead and take 491 passing yards. Question 4 is, how many different players will score a touchdown? Well, for the Seahawks, you've got 13 players have scored a touchdown, but 56 of the touchdowns have come from 3 players. And for the Cardinals, 9 players have scored a touchdown, and 50% of their touchdowns have come from 2 players. In the first game, there was 5. I like 5 again in this game, so I'm going to go ahead and answer it. 5 will be my answer. Question 5 is, what are the total points? As of right now, the over or under is on 58.5. And in 2020, the Seahawks over are 6-3 in the over and 3-1 at home. And for the Cardinals overs, they're 3-6 and 0-4 on the road. Game 1 went way over the over with 71 points, and that over-under was at 55.5. I'm going to go ahead and take 61 the plus. I see another game where both of these teams get around 30 and into the 30 points for probably both of these teams. And again, like I said, the Seahawks games are going over. Cardinals, they're not as heavy in terms of games hitting the over of 2020, but we saw what these teams did in game 1. We see what the Seahawks do. Their games generally do go over. So I'm going to go ahead and say 61 plus. And question 6 is always, what's the winner and what's the winning margin? Well, the line currently right now at this recording is Seahawks minus 3.5. The Cardinals are 3-1 against the spread on the road, 5-4 overall. The Seahawks check in at 3-1 against the spread at home and 5-4 overall. I'm going to go ahead and take the Cardinals win this game by 3-4 is how I see this one unfolding. It's going to be another really exciting game. The Seahawks it's going to be another exciting game. The Cardinals have the momentum coming off that big dramatic win. The Seahawks have lost 2 in a row. They're in a slump. They got another short week coming up here, obviously against, playing here on a Thursday. A really good, high-powered Cardinals offense coming to town, an average defense. I just see, again, a lot of points are going to be scored in this game, but at the end of the day, the Seahawks defense just can't quite stop, to me, this Cardinals offense that's going to come to town. And again, current form says the Seahawks are just slumping right now. And the Cardinals, I think, will carry off that big dramatic win against the Buffalo Bills and get themselves another win. But it'll be close. As again, I got it at Cardinals win the game by 3-4. So I do see this one being extremely close. And that's how I'm going to round up my chances to win $25,000 on the Fox Bet Super 6 app for Thursday Night Football. If I've been helped you, go ahead and like this video, share it with your friends so they can be part of this cash with us. We can all win $25,000 on Thursday night. I'm Jason Mattis, and I'll see you guys on the next free contest. Thanks for watching this episode of Winning Bets. I'm Jason Mattis. I'll see you again when we are celebrating the wins and making more winning bets. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more winning bets.